so excited to welcome you into my house. And, here comes my reading buddy, Pirate. Hi, buddy. How are you? To do our first ever Coyote Kids Book Club. Right, Pirate? Are we excited? We're so excited to read a book. Now, I'm here to tell you right now, you're probably going to get in the way. So if you want to get up, you can get up on the couch. There you go. Yeah, we're those dog parents. Don't worry. Okay, Pirate's going to join us for a story. All right. So I want to thank all the kids that are watching right now, all the parents that shared this video. Share it with your friends right now. Hit share. This is a great way. The reason why we wanted to do this was because we understand that there are so many kids who are not in school right now. Not just here in Las Vegas, but across the country. So if there's a way that we can, keep our kids learning and, give them something to watch that's not Fortnite videos or, NBA highlights, maybe reading a book with Jeff from Jeff and Aimee in the morning would be pretty cool. So if you like the video, if you like the idea, if you want to see more Coyote Kid Book Club videos, you can like it, you can share it. Comment below, let me know that you're hanging out as well. We'd love to know. So, the book we've chosen in spirit of St. Patty's Day is The Leprechaun in the Basement. Kathy Tucker. Illustrations by John Sanford. Pirate, you okay with this one? Okay, Pirate approves. Okay, so The Leprechaun in the Basement. And I'll make sure to slow down and make sure that everybody can see the pictures and everything as I read this book to you. The Leprechaun in the Basement. All right. OLeary was a leprechaun. A long time ago, he had come from Ireland, stowed in a trunk. Now he lived in the basement of a house in Chicago. So he arrived in that trunk. Ends up in the Windy City. That's where my sister lives. There he is. Look at him. He led a quiet life. Sometimes he read the newspapers in the recycling bin. Most of the time, he just sat by his pot of gold, coins, and polished them all. He loved his gold still. Once in a while, he felt a little bored. He thought that when he lived in Ireland, he used to do something else, but he couldn't remember what. Perhaps I'm just getting old, he would say to himself, for although leprechauns never die, they do get older. Look how small he is. Look how big that toothbrush is. Michael McKeever was the boy who lived in that house, though he didn't know OLeary was there. It was St. Patrick's Day, just like today. That meant it was almost spring, almost time for baseball season to begin. Michael pulled his last year's baseball shoes from underneath the bed. He tried them on, his big toes jammed against the ends. Parents, I know you know how that feels. Time for new shoes. The soles had begun to peel away. Michael's heart sank. He couldn't play ball in these shoes. But how could he ask his mom and dad for new ones? There's Michael and his old shoes. For the McKeevers were down on their luck. Michael's dad had lost his job at the computer company, and Michael's mom said they had to make do. Every day, Mr. McKeever searched for another job. At night, he came home looking sad and plunked himself in front of the TV. He never said, "Hey, Mike, let's go out and throw a few," the way he used to. There he is, little Mike, all bummed out in the corner there. "Michael," his mother called, "could you get my big pot? It's in the basement by the recycling bin." "Sure, Mom." His mother was making her special St. Patrick's Day dinner. Corned beef with potatoes and cabbage. He said it might lift his dad's spirits. Michael trudged down into the basement, and as he neared the washing machine, he heard a strange noise. Someone was singing. "When Irish eyes are smiling, sure it's like a morn in the spring, in the hill of Irish laughter, You can hear the angels sing. Who's singing down there? Michael peeked around the furnace. There in the recycling bin was a tiny old man. He jumped up and stared at Michael. Michael blinked. The little man looked exactly like the pictures of the wee folk he'd seen in a book about Ireland. "Are you a leprechaun?" he asked. O'Leary scowled. He had had a bit of a temper. "Well, I'm not from the outer space." Look at him. He's a cranky guy. And look how small he is. Oh my gosh, look at that. Michael pointed to a bowl with something sparkling in it. "What's that?" "My gold, of course." "Michael, I'm waiting," his mother called. "Coming, Ma." Michael grabbed his mother's pot. "I'll be back," he whispered to the leprechaun. "I was afraid of that," muttered O'Leary, because suddenly he knew his life would never be the same. At supper, Michael's dad just picked at his corned beef and cabbage. Michael could hardly eat either. He couldn't wait to talk to the leprechaun again. But after the dishes were washed, his father went down to the basement to check on the hot water tank, and there was no chance. In bed, Michael couldn't sleep. A leprechaun with a pot of gold! Why, that gold could buy all sorts of things. The hot water tank wasn't working right. His mom's bike was broken, and he needed baseball shoes. He had to have those new baseball shoes. A leprechaun in the basement, maybe their luck was going to change. O'Leary was awake. He had always liked to sing an Irish song on St. Patrick's Day, but he could see that he had been very foolish. Now a human being knew where he was. Now there would be trouble. For humans wanted just one thing from leprechauns. They wanted gold. The next day, Michael raced home from school. His folks weren't home yet, so the coast was clear. The leprechaun was waiting. "Listen," said Michael, "my dad lost his job, and the hot water isn't working, and my mom's bike is broken, and I need baseball shoes." He held out his old shoes. "'Tis a pity," said O'Leary, "but what can I do?" I'm working on the Irish accent, guys. It's not great. Okay, I'm switching between Australian and English with a little hint of Ireland in there, so I apologize. "You could give us some gold," O'Leary sighed. "Could you give up playing baseball?" Michael shook his head. "No way! I love baseball." "You're a smart lad. Then you understand why leprechauns cannot give up their gold." "But that doesn't make any sense. You have so much." "Some things don't make sense," said O'Leary. "And still, they are true." "Leprechauns are supposed to be lucky," Michael protested. "I don't know about luck," said O'Leary, his voice rising, "but you're not getting one gold coin." Look how angry he is. "You're a selfish leprechaun," Michael said angrily. O'Leary stomped his foot. "And you're a greedy human being." Michael stalked upstairs. His father was coming in the door. "Dad, why are you so unlucky?" he blurted out. He wasn't supposed to worry his father, but he couldn't help it. He almost felt like crying. His father stared at him. "I guess you must think you're unlucky with such a gloomy dad." He put his arm around his son. "Listen, when I woke up today, I had the strongest feeling our luck is going to change. Doesn't make sense, but it's true. I know we McKeevers are going to be okay. Now let's go out and throw a few." Like magic, Michael's spirits were lifted, and he ran to get his ball. That night in bed, Michael thought about what the leprechaun had said. He didn't want to be a greedy human being. He would make do. Maybe he could tape up all the soles. He reached under his bed for his shoes. Then he remembered he had left them in the basement. In the basement, OLeary paced back and forth. Was he a selfish leprechaun? Does he look like a selfish leprechaun to you? If you think so, answer in the comments. Yes, he's a selfish leprechaun, or no, he's not a selfish leprechaun. Or you can do the thumbs up or the frowny face, depending on what you think. He stared at the baseball shoes. The stitching was poorly done. The soles were made of the cheapest leather. He looked for the shoemaker's name, but there was only a tag too worn to read. Sure, and I could have made a better shoe. But why? I was the best cobbler in the country, Cork. And that was how OLeary remembered what he used to do in Ireland. He was a shoe repairman. He owned his own shoe repair shop. See that? OLeary's Shoe Repair. He's working on little shoes there. The next morning, when Michael McKeever stretched in bed, he felt something heavy on his legs. He sat up. There on the blanket was the most beautiful pair of baseball shoes he had ever seen. They were green with excellent thick soles and good gripping spikes. On the toes were tiny little gold shamrocks. Look at those shoes right there. Look at that. That's so cool. Isn't that cool, Pirate? Aren't those cool? Yeah, those are cool shoes. And of course, they were very lucky. And that's our story, The Leprechaun in the Basement. Now, what did that story teach us? I think that was a great story because I think it has a lot to do with making your own luck. Luck doesn't come from a pot of gold. Luck doesn't even come from the amount of money you have. Just like Michael's father and mother, they were down on their luck. He lost his job. But you make your own luck. You make your own happiness. It wasn't gold that Michael wanted all along. It was just to have a catch with his dad. So keep that in mind over these next couple weeks. Who knows? Months. That you get to spend time with your kids. You get to spend time with your family. Luck doesn't come from a paycheck. Even though it makes life a lot easier, that's for sure. Luck and happiness and love comes from the people you hold closest to you. Thank you guys so much for being a part. If you want to share this video and send it to some friends, it'll be living on our Facebook forever. And it'd be a perfect video for St. Patrick's Day to watch again with your kids. Thank you guys so much. Come on, Pirate. Let's get out of here.